So, just this entire week coming into this football game, we knew our team would really have to be focused tonight, extremely focused, and we'd have to fight hard. And I think that being said, I think our players certainly responded and showed that they were determined coming into this football game tonight. So, really pleasing to get the victory. I think, the first half, we did a great job of controlling the first half. Pretty much in all areas, our offense really did a great job with 3 of the 4 possessions, good balance, good productivity getting down and finishing the drives with touchdowns. That was certainly important. And defensively, I thought we did a good job too, played complimentary football, and probably the biggest accomplishment there was keeping them out of the end zone. So to give them 2 field goals, that was just about perfect from our end of the thing. And the goal we wanted was to be leading at halftime, something nobody's done against them this year. No opponent's done that, so we thought that would be a key. Then the second half was just a tremendous fight. We had tremendous respect for Minnesota coming in. They've been explosive and showed that on their first drive, took it down and closed the lead. And from there, I think it was just a matter of back and forth type fight. I think our guys really kept their composure. They kept their focus and fought the full 60, and that's exactly what it took. So just really proud of the way our guys answered every situation that was out there. But our defense down the stretch was outstanding. Certainly to finish the game the way we did was really just outstanding. And that being said, just want to thank our fans again. Another great home game, and that was vintage Kinnick out there tonight. The electricity, the fan involvement was just something I think everybody on our sideline felt, and certainly the guys out there in the field. And great to have Floyd staying in Iowa. So one of our guys did a report on that. And reported weight of the Floyd is 100 pounds. I think Tristan Orse would dispute that. He was claiming it's a little bit heavier. He was the guy who brought it in. So great to have Floyd in the locker room with us and pictures and all those kinds of things. So just all in all, really happy for our players and very, very proud of what they did tonight.
You gave Tyler Goodson his first start tonight. What was the decision behind that, and how did you feel like he stepped up?
Just felt like he gave us our best chance to do things, and I've said it all along. We really like all 3 of our backs. The guys that are playing are doing a great job. But just thought, it might be the best answer for today's game. We'll assess as we go. And he did a lot of good things out there. I just said on the radio, I think maybe as impressive as anything, he had a blitz pickup off of play action in the second half. For a freshman to make that protection and then execute it was really impressive. And it's even more impressive because he didn't execute it during the week, the end of the week last week. But I think that kind of shows you the kind of young guy as he learned from a mistake and carried it out there to the game field.
Seemed like you were more aggressive early on offense. Is that because of Minnesota's offense? You knew you'd have to score points?
Yeah, we knew we were going to have to score points today. It's no mirage. The points that they've scored, the yards that they've had. So we had tremendous respect and still do for their football team and their offensive football team. So we felt like we'd have to really kind of lay it out there a little bit more.
How did it help you guys getting Christian back in there, middle linebacker?
I always hate to lose a veteran player, and you really start with it's harder for the player, because they're sitting there watching that clock tick on their career, and that's hard. But so you hate to lose a veteran guy, but to get one back is a real benefit. And I think the other guys are playing well, but Christian's a veteran guy who's been playing his best football. That's what you hope with a guy that's a senior, and to get him back, just really happy about that. And unfortunately, we experienced it the other direction with OJ. Couldn't go this week, and then Raleigh jumped in and did a great job, and one player stepping up. So that's the nature of football, and hopefully we'll get both those guys back next week.
Moving AJ and Chauncey inside on the last drive really seemed to work. Was it set up to kind of take advantage of their protections the way they were sliding?
I mean, yes and no. They kind of have 2 different kinds of protections with their passing game, and one set of protections they've got involves 7 or even 8 guys in protection, where really only one guy's got a chance to get home, if that. I mean, it's kind of stacked against you, so that makes it tough. And then, but having a lead and having a 4-point lead was really pivotal, because now that forced them to open things up a little bit and expose their line. And it's no knock on their guys, but just gives you a chance to have a little bit more wiggle room inside or even on the edges. So just it's like you're playing 2 different types of offenses almost during the course of the game.
What about your offensive line play? It seemed to be real stable in both directions. Both protection and in the run game.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you finally got a unit that you're
And it's been a long road, as you know, and it's affected us, yeah, I haven't seen the film, but I just was talking to AJ in there, and I thought, you know, he concurred, I thought that was his best game back, at left tackle, so it just seemed like he really controlled things pretty well from his position. We got a lot of respect for the guys who were playing across him, and a couple guys playing. So I thought that, and then Collier got beat early in the game. You know, we got the ball out there, but he got beat on the protection inside. But after that, it seemed like things kind of settled down. So yeah, from where I was standing, it seemed like we played more as a unit, more solidified. There's gonna be a lot of things on film to correct still, but yeah, I think that gave us it was obviously very helpful in that first half especially.
How big of a boost was it to get Nate Weeding back? He seemed like he made two of the most important plays of the game on that fourth down conversion.
It's kind of the same comment as Christian, you know, to get a senior guy back, and yeah, he was dressed out last week, but you know, Friday mornings, like, they didn't really do anything, so he's back to full health, and good to get him back. And you asked about a young guy earlier. I'll throw Laporte in there too. You know, big third down catch, and the onside kick, and you know, so good to have Nate back. But I think we have a group of guys that are working well too and making progress.
And Brayden Smith gets on the field, I think, for just the one play. Must be a good sign, right?
It's encouraging. Yeah, somebody couldn't go on, so we threw him in there, knowing he didn't do much of I think he just ran a hitch route. But yeah, it's encouraging certainly, and I'm optimistic that he'll be back next week. We'll see.
How about just the emotions? You coach a team for whatever since January. You see him lose all these close games. What's it like for you to see him kind of break out in a game like this?
You know, I'll tell you, when you lose, it's hard. It's just hard. And yeah, I'm an older guy right now. I'm coaching a lot of games, so you know, I have my ass kicked plenty. But you feel bad for your players. You know, it's hard. And you know, a lot of people have opinions about all this and that. Anytime you lose, that's just the nature of what we do. So, you know, bottom line is I'm just really happy for our guys, and I'm happy and proud of them. I mean, I'm proud of the way they handled this week. It was a challenging week. They handled it well. And I'm proud of our staff too. I think they did a great job of, you know, giving us a plan against a team that we have a lot of respect for and still do. So, you know, this is what makes it fun. And, you know, but as high as those highs are, the lows can be really low too. And, but, you know, to be out there when the clock's running down at Kinnick Stadium, that's a pretty good feeling. So I'm just happy this team, this 19 team, got to experience one of those, and we've come up short 3 times now, so it was good to get one, finally push one through.
You've answered this in dozens of ways over the years, I'm sure, but how does the team stay together? How do you keep them together in November when you've had a certain amount of disappointment?
Well, I just think it takes, you know, great leadership internally, you know, from your players. If your players aren't stable, if they're not high character guys, if they're not guys that really understand how tough it is to compete at this level, that's part of our job. We got to try to educate them all year long that there's nothing easy about this, and anytime you go out there and lay it on the line, you know, it can go either way, and could have gone either way tonight. So, you know, they just have to, you know, you try to educate them. That's going to be part of the deal. But you know, that's what makes those lows so lows, and that's what makes the highs so high. And then I guess I'd come back to the kind of people are in your building. You know, we got a really great group of young people. We're not always the best team at times, but they're a team. They believe in each other. They care about each other. And you know, just reference yesterday talking to the Fox crew that worked the game. AJ Up and us had just been in with them, and they couldn't say enough good things about, you know, the kind of kid he is, the kind of person he is, and how impressed. And these guys, as you know, they're national. They're talking to people from all over the place. And I told them it starts with the mom and dad. You know, just if you meet mom and dad, you'd understand why AJ is the way he is. But my point there is like that. Those are the kind of guys we work with every day. So yeah, that's where it all starts, and yeah, that's why you hurt for them when they lose, and that's I'm happy for them tonight.
Last week, the game ended with Nate carrying the ball up the goal line, and almost ended. Tonight he had a third down run on a scramble that really factored in. Football's kind of weird that way, isn't it?
It is, you know, and that's what football. I know I got in trouble for saying that 5 years ago. I got one for you too. Okay, so Robert Frost, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was an English major,
Yeah.
so you know the only way around things is through things, you know, all that kind of
Right.
stuff. So I did a little research on him. He had a good saying too. After however many years, 88 years of life, one observation, he said, "Life goes on." And so you know, it's kind of like football. Football, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but what you do is you just keep pushing forward. And yeah, Nate running the football tonight helped us certainly. You know, him pulling it down, and I think anytime a quarterback will do that and do it wisely, it really helps. that was a pretty slick move. I didn't expect to see that. I didn't know that he had that in his pocket, so that was great to see.
Well, you look at
One or two more.
your last, him and your other quarterback before him, both really, really tough guys that hung on. But, Nate can barely talk this week through a cold. He got popped at the goal line. He got popped out there today. Yet here he is, slinging it all over the place. I mean, you've got to be pretty impressed with this kid's career. I mean, he's almost winning it down.
Yeah, I think anybody plays good at quarterback, plays well as a quarterback. Pull the grammar there. But, to be a major college quarterback, no matter what kind of system you have, you got to have great physical toughness. You also have to have great mental toughness. And it was no different before social media in the 80s. Playing quarterback here is not an easy deal. This is, it's a high scrutiny position anywhere you go. Outside of being an offensive coordinator, it's the second worst job, I think, in football. I got the third from being, people criticizing you and just, always having opinions. So, but Nate's an unbelievable guy, and probably if he has one fault, in my opinion, it's just he's almost too much of a perfectionist, and he's, wants to do everything just perfectly. But that's why it's good too. But he's got great mental toughness, and just talked about AJ. It starts at home. He's got a great mom and dad, and he's a guy who understands competition, loves it, but also knows you're gonna you get knocked on your tail every now and then too.
Stanley kind of carried over his performance from the second half last week into the first half. What does that say about you for him to step up in those big game situations?
He's a senior quarterback, and we expect him to lead our football team. And but like I've said all season long, it takes everybody. It's not just one guy, and you need protection. You need receivers doing something. And, part of tonight, we're catching the ball and then running, and making yards and scoring touchdowns, that type of thing. So, it's a team effort, but certainly, it'd be silly to say that the quarterback's not an integral or critical part of any offensive football team, at least most of them who have them around.
What about Tyler Tracy? I mean, he's had to step in for Brandon Smith, and at least from a production standpoint, has been right up there with what Brandon was producing. I mean, he's, did you think that it would almost be seamless the way it is?
We didn't know what the rate of his progression would be, but we've been watching him for a year plus now, and just watching the growth. So we had total confidence coming in this season. He'd be a really good receiver for us. We thought we had three pretty good receivers, him, Amir, and Brandon. So. Good news, if we get Brandon back, that gives us one more guy in the mix, and Nico's doing a really good job, and right on through. So happy for him, but it's like all the guys we're talking about. It's because he's worked hard. And he's got a great attitude. He's just another tremendous young guy. I mean, he's fun to be around. And one thing I want to go on record too, the stuff about moms and having a two-parent home. Like, I think that's all bullcrap, me personally. But having somebody who helps raise a young guy, so it can be a single parent, a mentor, whatever. But in Tyler's case, he's got a mom and dad too. They're really great people. But that's a calm down. I mean, most of our good players, somebody was helping them as they go along and really raising them right.
Seems like you really enjoy Floyd, just what I've gathered over a few years.
Floyd's a good stat. That's legit. That's a legitimate trophy.
Are you talking about pictures? Have you ever taken a picture of Floyd or a selfie or anything?
No, that'd be kind of weird. But I sure like looking at him. Yeah, I sure like looking at him. Okay, thank you.